What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
See that? Trading Places.
I guess.
Brought to you by Dani and TJ.
By TJ and Dani.
True. I, excuse me, I'm your girl Dani as always.
What?
I'm your girl Dani as always. Who are you?
My fault. Sorry. I was a text message.
Oh, not you. Not
paying
attention.
The ambassador of the new cool.
The person who would have lost their mind if that was me.
I mean, listen. That's why I mean you.
Yeah, because you're a hypocrite. Hip-hop anonymous.
That's crazy to me.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
What you call it? I'm good. Sorry, I'm having a delayed reaction. I'm pretty good, permanently exhausted pigeon, so I'm always tired, which I'm going to get specifically into why I am so tired, especially this week. But, still can't complain. Finished all my work in grad school, turning it in on time, staying on top of things.
I feel you. It's a lot going on. So
it definitely is.
To our lovers, I apologize for missing my cue a little bit earlier. But,
okay, we're human.
I don't like to edit.
You don't.
So, you're just going to get it raw and cut. Listen. This is episode 41.
Yeah, I think we got the numbers wrong last episode.
Definitely did.
So, the last episode was episode 40.
Right.
We're officially over the hill.
Yeah.
And now we are in we're in our best years. We're in our cougar years of this podcast. So
40 is a cougar year?
I mean, if you're talking to somebody who's like 22, then yeah, you're a cougar.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I always considered you my cougar, so.
And I'm only 8 months older than you.
You're a year.
8 months, we're not doing this.
Thank God you're not a math teacher, because
this is only about an hour to an hour and a half long podcast.
Your rounding is terrible. But yeah, we're not going to do this. But, shout out to my cougar.
Anyway.
To my old joint.
Ready? I'm through with you.
My old lady.
You ready for some elevator talk, good sir?
I'm always ready for the elevator talk.
Going down.
Oh, you going to start it off like that?
Because I am motherfucking tired. Like that video, I can't remember whose child that was, cursing like that. So, I this last week and a half at work, our English teacher has been out sick. He's had bronchitis. It's really bad. And I mean, granted, he's only took off one day last year, so he's really, really sick to not be here. But it has been like trying to keep the lid on like a rocket right now as far as keeping middle school intact. And it's every day somebody's coming up to me with some new drama, some boy, girl who's dating who wrote something on their DMs, who was screenshotting stuff and sending it. And then on top of that, dealing with the adults and then also doing schoolwork. So Lord knows I'm just tired. I can't wait for him to come back, because once we have more adults, things will kind of quiet down. But it's just been real hectic. Like the schedule's been off, everything's been crazy, and it's kind of just like survival mode. But I'm showing up every day, putting a smile on my face and making it happen. But I'd be damned if I didn't say I am like ready to crash every day.
I don't think it's like a negative thing, but okay.
Okay, well, I wasn't like most cheery. That's why I said going down. But
all right, that's cool.
It's all good. You ready?
Yeah, can we go up?
Going up.
So this week is National Daughter Day weekend. Like it was past. It was on Tuesday, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And
we got a daughter.
We got a daughter. So and it may seem like we talk about her a lot, but she's kind of our new normal.
Exactly.
But
she's dope.
We were laying down in the bed Monday night, trying to get it to go down. And I was watching my Ratchet TV, and I had wrestling on because I like to skip through it. I still like it, but I don't like it to enough to just sit there and watch it. Mm-hmm. So Love and Hip Hop is off. Tatum's laying down. And then she hears the people, and she just hears the wrestling moves, and she pops up. She jumps up, and she started going crazy. I've never seen her act like this, but she was swinging her arms, kicking her legs, jumping, cheering, like, so, you know, it made me laugh. It made me laugh and said, we got a wrestling fan here.
Yes. That's a testament to genetics.
Yeah, so, you know, she loves football, she loves basketball, so, you know.
Listen, if we never have a son, he's still good. You got Tatum. She's all the way interested in the same thing.
Not at all. But yes.
Okay.
Yes, we'll have the same interests. So
that's dope.
So that was my up. My daughter loves wrestling. I like I said, I've never seen her act like this, but she was jumping and
she was like mimicking the moves almost.
Yeah. So
poor London. Our dog was not happy because she was laying there too, and she was like, "Please help me."
Yeah. So.
Well, that's dope.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, that's good. That does make me smile and make me happy. It was really funny watching her go off like that.
Yeah.
So now it's time for our relationship tip. As always, I will have a meaningful, thoughtful one, and TJ will
have a real,
and TJ will come with some simple shit.
Why gotta be simple?
My tip of the
First
week.
off, you're not gonna treat me like I'm a basic bitch. It's not what we're gonna do.
I'm not gonna treat you like a basic bitch.
We're not gonna do that.
I mean, if
I'm low key high maintenance,
you're low key,
you're not gonna treat me like this.
But you're not a basic bitch.
Definitely not. But go ahead. Let's hear your grand.
So if the shoe from Rainbow don't fits, you're not gonna wear it.
Food from Rainbow.
The shoe from Rainbow.
The shoe.
Like if the shoe fits.
I don't understand that.
Oh my god.
No, but I'm definitely not wearing Rainbow.
I know, because that's what basic bitches wear.
Beneath me.
All right. So this tip for me for the week was actually inspired by you.
Oh, shit.
So when I was thinking about what little nugget to pass on to our lovers, I thought about this. Anticipate your partner's needs. Not always. You don't always. It doesn't have to be like you have to know exactly what they're thinking all the time or be a mind reader. But sometimes just to show that you're listening and paying attention. So that could be something as simple as like you at the store and you grab. So like here's one thing TJ does for me. He'll like sometimes bring home like Reese's Buttercups because that's my favorite candy. Or he will buy me a black and white cookie, or he'll see something that's the color teal and he'll like get it for me because or like in the green family because that's my favorite color. And those things are like, those are I guess like just like thinking about the little things. But and even he's gone even bigger sometimes too, which is like, you know, he's made he sees that like, oh, I haven't been for a massage in a while, or I haven't I need to go get a wax or something like that. And like he'll make the appointment and just tell me like, okay, Thursday at 4:30 you have to be here, and then that's it. And that's something that I have to work on. It's a major area of growth for me because it just like my brain sometimes just gets so bogged down in the day-to-day and like what I have to do that sometimes it's hard for me to even anticipate what he needs, let alone what I need sometimes. But I'm always going to continue to work and try on it. And that's my little tidbit for you guys is sometimes try to anticipate your partner's needs or their wants because it is truly, truly appreciated. And yeah, so
it was inspired by me. So that means that's technically my tip. So
no, it's not.
So I'm getting that victory.
No, you're not. Go ahead and give your little C spot run tip.
Anyway. So my tip of the week is take a staycation in your town or a nearby town. Mm-hmm. You know? So we live in Maryland. Mm-hmm. So we got DC right there. We got Baltimore in a harbor right there. So, you know, we can go get a hotel for the week, get someone to watch Tatum, mm-hmm. and have our own vacation there. Instead of getting on a plane or driving somewhere.
I'm a fan.
So that's my tip, you know. You can spice it up in your own town, you know. You live in New York, go find a dope-ass hotel and make it a night on the town.
I support that.
So, something simple, not basic. And because Dani gave a tip that it's inspired by me, I definitely win.
I disagree. But
definitely
okay.
win.
I disagree, but okay.
But so those are the tips of the week.
Vote for who you think has the better one.
TJ. Everybody's team TJ.
Everybody's not team TJ.
All right, 98% of the people is team TJ.
That's untrue. Lies. Okay. You work for the Trump administration because you have all these.
That's your favorite. Lies. You voted for Trump.
What?
And on that note, we're gonna take a break and hear a message from our sponsor. Dani's a Trump supporter.
Shut up.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to GainSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And don't forget to use our code LOVERS10 to get 10% off your first purchase with Gainz Sports Gear. Make sure you visit their website at www.gainzsportsgear.com. Don't forget to embrace the process. All right, so we're back. And we got a letter. We got a letter. It is a letter for Dani and TJ. Ready?
Sure.
You are so dry. How am I the one that's on 4 hours of sleep?
Because that was mad.
And I got the energy.
Because that was mad weird.
You are. You know what you are? You are a shamer of personality.
I don't shame on anything.
You are a shamer. You shame. You try to personality shame me.
I would never do that.
You're weird. That's what you're
When did I say you were weird?
You just said that was mad weird.
I didn't say you were weird.
So do you think I'm weird?
Read the damn question.
Exactly. You a personality shamer. You're shaming me for being who I am.
Can you read the question, please?
I will read the letter. It's brief, but I think it's impactful. Dear Dani and TJ, so I have a quick question, and I thought I'd reach out to you guys in the hopes that you can help answer it. I was watching Insecure this weekend, and one of the themes of the show has been, quote-unquote, ghosting, courtesy of Nathan. Yes, girl. However, the more I've watched, the more I realize that I think I have ghosted a few guys in my past.
Oh, so she's a ghoster too.
That's what she's saying. I wasn't trying to be foul. I just hate feeling like I'm hurting someone's feelings and being a witness to it. So I just quietly exit stage left. Is this ghosting even if I don't mean it to be? How should I move on from people I've realized I'm not that interested in without having to deal with the letdown in their voice or their face or their text messages? Thanks so much. Love, quote unquote, Natalie. So I guess that was a play on Nathan, Natalie.
Clever.
So it was an anonymous person.
That's dope that I would have never thought that. So kudos to you.
So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I mean, let me hear what you got to say first.
So I feel like Natalie, it's funny because I think me and TJ watch Insecure together, and obviously we've never experienced this whole ghosting phenomenon or whatever because obviously, we're here talking to you. But I do feel even if you didn't intend to ghost these guys in the past, that if you just all of a sudden stops communicating with them for whatever reason, then yeah, you did ghost them. The intent is one thing, but it's still ghosting no matter what your intention is. And
so ghosting is because he hasn't responded?
Yeah, so basically me and you were talking, we're vibing, whatever, we're communicating, and then all of a sudden I hit you up one day and I just never hear back from you. You might have unfollowed me on social media, you might have maybe even blocked me, but you're not answering texts, phone calls. Basically you've immediately cut off all communication to that person without explanation, and without explanation. That's ghosting. But I think that she's ghosting regardless of whether or not she means to be ghosting. Even though she, even though she doesn't do well with like letting people down, I guess is what she's saying, it's still ghosting. Like even if she didn't mean to be that way.
Yeah, no, she is ghosted. She said, "How should I move on from people I realize I'm not interested in without having it to deal with the letdown in their voice, face, or text?" I feel like the direct approach is the best approach.
And quite honestly,
and if you don't want to do
yourself.
If you don't want to do it, then I mean, what you can do is you can send a nice long text message saying that you're not interested, and then block their number.
I mean, you could. I just think it's kind of presumptuous to think that like the person that you're talking to is going to be let down or devastated if you decide that like, hey, I don't really think that this is going anywhere.
Well, maybe
like the person might be just be like, all right,
maybe
cool.
she's speaking from experience.
Oh, like people just like fall apart when she breaks up with
I don't
them.
know.
When
You
she cuts them out.
You thought when I was trying to holler at you again that by you like be right back and leaving, you were doing something. We all have these
Yeah, you made us. We're not going to get into that.
No, go ahead. What happened?
I don't want to digress too much, but like, yeah, I did that. But then you, like, when we told the story of us, you were like acting like you were just so nonchalant about everything that had to do with us in the beginning. Like I was just something to do. Like I was a crossword puzzle in a dentist's office. But
I never said that.
No, because
that's how you felt.
You're not as imaginative as I am with your descriptions.
I feel like you're trying to make me be like I'm dumb.
You're not dumb.
That's what I feel like you just said. I feel like you just called me an idiot without saying you're an idiot. So but go ahead.
In this episode, I've called you a basic bitch and an idiot.
Pretty much. You don't respect me at all.
I do respect
you. Treated me like a whore today.
Oh my goodness. So, but Natalie, like, don't even presume that like somebody's gonna be broke up about it if you like do say, hey, I don't think it's working out. But you know, I'm assuming that you're an adult, and adults like need to just say like, hey, I don't think this is gonna be anything more than a friendship, or you're cool, but I don't see this going anywhere, and that's okay. But like,
or don't put yourself out there, and then you won't have to worry about that.
So it's just like never put yourself out there.
I'm saying don't put yourself out there as much, like, because based off of the letters, she doesn't feel comfortable with the letdown and the voice and all the other stuff. Mm-hmm. But if you're not giving people your number, if you're not going the extra step, there's nothing to worry about.
Okay. So, but are you saying, though, that, like, she should just not give her number out or whatever until she's prepared to, like, address people head on, good, bad, and different?
I'll go with that, yeah. I just feel like...
I think it sounds good, but I don't think it's realistic. Because I feel like
people it is realistic, though.
I feel like people are going to put themselves... Going to talk to people, or people are going to ask for your number.
In this day and age...
You give them your number.
In this day and age, social media... You speak to somebody on IG, you don't have to give them your number.
You don't. But that's still part of this form of communication that you could be ghosted from.
I get that. But what I'm trying to say is that the way I'm thinking about it is, I meet you, you meet me, we're talking, we exchange numbers. And then now we're conversing, and now it's like, yeah, I'm good. But if I never gave you my number, I could have given you my IG. Or, you know what, you found me on IG, we talked there, and then, you know. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like ghosting comes when there is something given. When it's more than just a hi and bye or just conversation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand what you're talking about, but I think that ghosting in this day and age, like you said, social media, is like beyond just phone numbers, because you could be ghosted by somebody who you've only communicated through DMs. It's just when all of a sudden the communication ceases abruptly without explanation. So I don't know. So I mean, Natalie, I think that yes, can we both agree, babe, that like she is ghosting regardless of the intent?
Oh, she's definitely ghosting, but Natalie, as a grown up,
put your big girl drawers on.
You got to put your big girl drawers on, and you got to face that.
Yes, be better than Nathan.
Be a better Natalie.
Yeah, unless you also got in a fight in the back of a lift. And
What?
because Nathan got in a fight in the back.
What does that have to
and
do
he
with
might be in
anything?
jail. We don't know what happened to Nathan. We haven't watched the last season finale of Insecure. That's what I was tying it all into. You got to let me get to it.
But we know he's not in jail because he posted.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, but still, I was going somewhere
All right,
with
go
that.
ahead.
I was going somewhere with that. So, just don't ghost people. That's ultimately what it is, Natalie. Don't be Nathan in any way, shape, or form. Because otherwise you might have people running around here crazy like Issa.
Or be like Nathan, but be accepting of being like Nathan.
Oh, like own that shit.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm a ghoster.
So what do you call somebody who's anti-ghoster or who puts them out there?
You want to call him a Ghostbuster? I knew you couldn't wait to. Thank you, Natalie, for that letter.
Thank you, Natalie. That tickled me.
And now?
It's time for our quarrel. I don't have a
Thank God.
I don't have one. Episode 41, I ran out. I mean, I can always go back to like the OG
nope,
ones.
We're good.
I'll be back next week with one. I'm sorry.
Prior proper planning.
SMD.
Oh yeah, you really disrespecting. You're out of line today.
I'm sorry.
You're really out of line today. But you know what?
I love you.
Anyway.
I love you.
That's the quarrel because she wouldn't be disrespectful. The quarrel we're going to talk about. Should people convicted of crimes years after the fact in old age have to serve their time? I.e. Bill Cosby. So Bill Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years for something that happened
many sexual assaults.
14 years ago, I think it was.
More than that, 30. Something
like,
30.
Yeah,
Somewhere
right.
in the 70s and 80s.
No. His crime, what he's being charged with is for.
A more recent one because
it's happened in 2004. So 14 years ago.
Yeah, the statute of limitations on the other ones passed.
The question is, should they have to do the crime?
The time. Even though like 3 to 10 years literally is,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
their natural
Seeing
life.
Bill in those handcuffs, it was hurtful. His old ass.
It doesn't mean he's not a criminal.
I'm not saying that he's not a criminal, but
why does it hurt? Is it because you say
it doesn't hurt?
It's just he's old. It's because he's old. Comfortable?
No, I don't give a fuck. I didn't even watch the Cosbys.
That's why you act like what you do now.
No, definitely not. You can keep the Cosbys. I was like watching like Martin and shit like that. The Wayans Bros. Like I was, the Bernie Mac show.
Well, we were older when Bernie Mac came
Yeah,
out.
so Bill Cosby show was in the 80s?
And 90s.
Okay.
But it was always syndicated.
I wasn't watching it like that. I never cared to like Bill Cosby.
You know why?
Why, Dani?
Because you basic.
Anyway.
All right. So, if it's just because he's old, it like kind of stung watching him get taken
It did.
So why shouldn't...
I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a crime. Like, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be him doing something. They could have put him on house arrest. They could have did something else.
So he just needs to be like comfortable.
That's not really comfortable. House arrest isn't comfortable when you're a fucking millionaire and you can't go nowhere. Okay, you can only stay home.
But if you have that or jail is your choice, I'd be like, well, put the bracelet on me, put me on the box.
They're gonna rape Bill.
They're not gonna rape him.
They're gonna rape Bill.
They're not. I would not be surprised, and I'm not trying to be morbid, but I would not be surprised if he like doesn't make it through the year. Like he passes away, because a lot of people.
How fucking terrible would that be? Bill Cosby passes away in jail.
Because it's a reality because of the shit that he did, and
allegedly,
what he was convicted of.
On this one, yes.
Okay, so 60 women are lying. 60 women over 40 years.
I'm not saying that 60 women are lying.
Telling the same story.
I'm not saying that.
But
I'm just saying that it just, for me, it could have been any old person.
Okay, so here's the question.
Except for her.
No,
because we talked about this a little earlier.
But let's do a deep dive. Dig deeper. any old person.
Uh-huh.
Emmett Till's accuser is still alive and has admitted that she lied about Emmett Till's whistling and trying to catcall her, that ultimately ended up with him being brutally murdered.
Is she blind in her left eye?
I don't know. I don't care. Should she should be convicted, but should she not have to go to jail because she's old and feeble and all stuff like that? She should be under the fucking jail. Because she was the cause of that boy's death all those years ago. So I feel like Bill Cosby, absolutely, even if you can say allegedly or whatever, but I feel like you can be pretty confident in the fact that Bill Cosby did some foul shit in his lifetime.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Where he was assaulting women.
I'm not saying
he's serving the time for that.
I'm not saying that he didn't. Times were different. Not making it right. But all I said was, seeing Bill like that, it was just like, this nigga is old and blind and...
You know what? But had we as a society not normalized like assaulting women, so for so many years, Bill might have been called out sooner, convicted sooner.
I mean, he's always been
convicted sooner, and then served 3 years when he was 50 as opposed to 80.
Okay,
and then
that's cool.
He would have lived his days out.
But to say normalize, like, our society didn't normalize it. That is a societal norm. It's just now.
That's what normalizing is.
No, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that just now is it becoming like an issue. Just now is the things that 4 years ago would have been okay.
Okay, but that's
4 or 5.
But that's how things happen.
We can go back 10 years.
But there
was things that were more acceptable, and now it's like it's not acceptable.
Okay, and that's fine, because sometimes it takes time for you people to realize that, like, hey, what I said and did or what I thought was cool 5, 10, 15 years ago is actually not cool, because you're normalizing abuse or hurt against a group of people, or you're marginalizing them for whatever reason, be it sex, race, sexual orientation, gender. And if those things are criminal, then if their statute of limitations is still there, then I'm not gonna say, oh no, it's okay, or it's just he's old, you might as well just let it go, blah blah blah.
I didn't say any of that stuff.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying
all I said was that it was a sad sight to see.
Okay, so
that's all I'm saying.
So you do think that he should be in jail for what he did?
I think that he should definitely pay the price for what he did. 3 to 10 years for someone who's about to die.
So that is like a death sentence, you feel like?
It could be. It definitely can be.
It can be, like I said. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he, like, didn't make it out past the year, because it's like the stress of the situation.
I just want to know what happens to Harvey Weinstein.
That is a good question.
And Kavanaugh.
Who? Kavanaugh?
Kavanaugh.
Well, see, the thing about it is that Kavanaugh isn't being accused of... Excuse me, he isn't being charged with a crime. That's the thing.
Why not?
It could be the statute of limitations. So the whole point of these women, like, because now it's 2 women at the point of this episode being recorded, coming forward, saying that he basically sexually assaulted them, he forced himself on him, or he exposed himself to them. Those things might be like, the statute of limitations could be passed on those. But somebody though explained it on Twitter, and I thought what made a lot of sense was, like, he's not being charged with a crime, but what he's doing right now, he's trying to get the nomination to be a Supreme Court justice. It's like a job interview, and it's like these women are coming into his job interview and like, don't hire him, he's not shit because he assaulted me or he exposed himself to me. Do you want your company to be represented by somebody who did this to me, did this? And that's kind of what it is. So, like, he's not even being charged for that stuff. But if he were to be, then I would say he needs to serve time too, but he probably won't be because of the statute of limitations. But I just feel like, I don't care if you're not I don't care if you're 99 years old or you're 29 years old. If you did something criminal, right? That like, not truly criminal. I feel like criminal, especially in the sense where, like, you have forever upset the life of someone else, then yeah, you should pay for the crime. If you robbed, I'm not even saying robbed the bank. If you just like stole money out of somebody's purse 20 years ago, you stole $100 or something like that, should you still go to jail for that? And you're 97 years old? No.
Why not?
But because
you should go to jail for, you should pay the crime regardless of what it is.
But I think it has to do with, it's like something like you've brought harm, like physical harm or irreparable harm to other people. That person who... So
that's the... But see...
I think that's like a caveat, but I just feel like ultimately... Oh, but yeah, overall...
You can't pick and choose.
I'm not picking and choosing.
You kind of are, though. You're saying that if it's something that's not harming somebody, it's okay. Like, you robbed the bank, okay. That should be a slap on the wrist.
Because you're robbing I'm not saying it's a slap on the wrist, but what I'm saying, though, is like, I could more so understand letting somebody just be like... Or saying like time served or giving house arrest or something like that to somebody who, like, okay, if you did rob a bank, like you didn't shoot anybody, nobody got hurt, the bank, has insurance, they replaced it, then that's fine. You didn't get caught and you weren't a serial bank robber, you did one thing, then maybe. But like you raped dozens of women, or if you were the cause, if you were the catalyst to somebody's murder, I don't care how old you are. So that's just my feeling on it.
I mean, listen, I just feel like if Bill can go, anybody can go.
Absolutely.
Regardless of age, regardless of what your crime was. If they can give you a sentence, then you should get your sentence.
Oh, so you're just like all or nothing.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Like I said, I just want to see what happens to Harvey Weinstein. His stuff seems way worse. Mm-hmm. I mean, rape is rape, so I'm not trying to say that one rape is less
or better or worse than the other.
But the details from his seem a lot more like forceful and like using their power. And I hope that they don't say, well, Cosby got 3 to 10, so we're gonna give him 3 to 10.
I mean, I agree. And I mean, Weinstein stuff is a lot more recent. So hopefully there'll be something there. But listen, I'm all for it. Like, get everybody the fuck out of here. Like, that's been doing that stuff like that. It's been normalized for so many years. And now it's in 2018. People are finally taking a stand against it. And, people got to be called to the carpet. It's going to be uncomfortable. And it's going to be unfortunate in some situations. But at the same time, it's like the only way to kind of like break out of these cycles of normalcy, of normalizing this type of behavior, is to call people out on it, so that way it doesn't end up to something criminal anymore, So and the thing about it is that there's plenty of people, men, women, everybody in between, who don't.
Excuse me.
Bless you. So there's men, women in between who go their whole lives without doing that type of stuff to anybody, without treating anybody that type of way, without getting somebody killed. So you can't tell me that you can't make it through your life. Yeah, he looks sad. But he also looks a little guilty. He probably feels bad, like, damn, I finally all caught up with me. He's a sad old man, but he's a sad old man who arguably for the better part of his life, like, took advantage of women. Even if the woman went into the room thinking that it was going to be something, doesn't mean she agreed to be drugged. Or even if she decided to take the drugs willingly, she didn't want to be touched. She didn't, like, there's always something, So it's fucked up, don't get me wrong. Like, as somebody who did watch The Cosby Show, it's difficult to see, like, look at the episodes now and not see that person or whatever. But Bill Cosby is not Cliff Huxtable. And they are not one and the same.
Technically, they could have been the same, for real.
And that's all I have to say about that. You think that's why he made Cliff Huxtable an OBGYN?
I didn't even know he was the OBGYN.
Yeah, he delivered babies for a living.
Oh, see?
And his doctor's office was in the house.
Exactly.
In the basement.
And that wasn't creepy.
Well, it was like a legit office.
Yeah, it was a legit office in his house. He probably had cameras then, too.
Yeah, we might have to look back into Cliff Huxtable's records.
I never watched it, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen episodes, but it wasn't like...
You have. Who hasn't seen the episode of The Cosby Show?
I mean, I have, but I can't, like...
Name an episode, like no. Something that happened. So you don't know anything about, like, the Wilderness Store and...
No.
Different
Strokes? I know that.
You don't know about Bud? Not Different Strokes, A Different World.
No, Different Strokes. There's a TV
Oh, I
show.
was talking about the Cosby show. Like
I'm talking about old shows.
Oh.
Like I used to watch Different Strokes. I like that.
Okay, what was his fish's name? Lincoln?
Arnold.
Oh.
No, not Arnold. Abraham.
Oh, okay. So
There
I
you
wasn't
go.
tripping too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arnold was the main character's name.
You know about, what's the name, the bike shop?
Yes, when Dudley got touched. Why is that funny?
That's not.
You're a terrible person. I'm glad everyone gets to hear
That's
you
not-
be a
it's your
terrible
face.
person.
It's your face. You said when Dudley got touched.
He did get touched. Dudley was in that. He was in.
With his shirt off?
Yeah. No, I mean, they alluded to the fact that something happened.
Did he give him Spanish fly too?
No.
Oh.
No. They were like getting video games, and he was like, "You should do this with your shirt off."
They did an episode of Smart Guy like that too.
And then they both took their shirts off, and then it kept on getting like weirder and weirder. Arnold left. Dudley was like, "I'm staying," and it wound up being like he got touched. Listen, Different Strokes was my shit.
I know, but they did an episode like that on Smart Guy. It was like he was trying to buy video
I
games,
remember.
and he,
From
went over
the
there, and he was
counterfeit.
like, it's like a surfing video game. He was like, it makes more realistic if you get in your underwear.
Yeah.
The more you know. Those are some teachable moments.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Very
listen,
what do they call them? A very special episode.
listen, we have all this knowledge, so now we can, pass it on. Speaking of passing it on, what information or what stuff would you want to pass on to Tatum?
Like as far as
I mean, with raising a child, you kind of got to teach them things, and it's like, what do you teach them? How much do you teach them? How much information do you give your child? How early do you give it to them? Michelle Hope says you talk about this stuff early, which makes sense. But I feel like my parents wouldn't talk about sex early or talk about things early because that's how they were raised,
Yeah,
And we're kind of at a different road because we were raised by our parents and their ideologies.
Yeah.
But we're in a time where the ideologies of our own and of the world is different. So
Absolutely. I feel like, I think it's kind of like an a la carte thing. Like I think of it like a buffet. Like there's going to be some things that my parents instilled in me and that they told me that I'm absolutely going to take from there and then pass on to Tatum. And there's other things that I may leave because I didn't love it when I was growing up, or I didn't feel like it was necessarily the most helpful. And I mean,
like what?
Like, I didn't grow up in a household that was like overly affectionate. And
so you're gonna leave that?
No, I'm saying like a la carte. So you take what you want and you leave the other
and I
stuff.
said like what?
Like what stuff I would leave?
You were saying I would leave stuff. So I'm like what?
Okay, so I'll rephrase it. I would leave like the lack of like affectionate language behind, because I'm gonna tell Tatum I love her every day. I'm gonna tell Tatum.
You're welcome, by the way.
That was really something I was uncomfortable saying growing up, not growing up, but like when I started dating you, like it like gave me the heebie-jeebies to hear like you tell your parents you love them. I was like, we're going to the store, like why are you doing this? And I'm not. I think I'll probably always fall somewhere in the middle. Like I say I love, you, and I say I love Tatum. I say I love my sister. I tell people I love them.
I don't
more now than I would.
I'm not telling everybody that. But
no, I'm not saying you tell everybody. What I'm saying is like,
but it's kind of like,
I'm not gonna say like every time you go out of my sight, like I love you, I love you, I love you. It's just.
I don't think it was like that though.
That's how it seemed, at least to me at the beginning.
If I'm going to the store, you do know there's kids who walk to the store and get murdered.
I do know that, and that's
and they don't say I love you.
I get that, but
I think for us, I mean, listen, I understand. I'm just saying
it's like a pendulum swing for me.
For us, the I love you is just you never know.
I understand.
So
I agree.
any chance that you could say I love you to let that person know, you let them know, because at the end of the day, when you don't let them know, that time that you're angry or that time you forget is the time when something happens. You're like, damn, if only I had that one moment to say I love you again. Only it's those little things. So I think that's one of the things for us. Leaving behind, I didn't like beating, so I'd probably leave that behind.
Yeah,
even though I would have to be the disciplinarian, but
not true.
100%.
We just have different disciplinarian styles.
Okay,
that's all.
All right.
but like I didn't get really beaten or anything like that.
You didn't get beat at all.
And so I don't think I'd want to pass that on. I do know that, like, a pluck or something like that. Like that's.
I'm just saying I don't want to. I wouldn't beat my child like my mother beat us. So
okay,
they may get a beating. For me to beat you is gonna have to be like you did something
egregious,
crazy. But even then, I may not do a beating because sometimes like a beating doesn't always work. It's not a guarantee it's going to work.
Disappointment stings harder when you feel your parents are disappointed in you. That
I don't think my parents ever said that to me.
Oh, I had that maybe a few times, but not too often. I was a good kid
until you met me, according to your mother. But
whatever. But those things, like that type of stuff, though, like being more affectionate, I would keep. I would make it. It's like important to me that like education always like is a main priority. I mean, which I know I'm not saying that it's not the case for most families and stuff like that, or you specifically, but I'm just saying like driving home the fact that like school's important, period, and you need to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do in school, especially when your mom's a teacher. So
I mean, school is important, but I think it's more important to do things outside of the school.
I think school
can reinforce it, but I feel like teaching them about other things outside of school.
Yeah, I'm not taking away from that.
School teaches you history, but it's not the right history.
It's not all of it. You're absolutely right.
I'm just saying they don't tell the truth 99% of the time.
They tell a version. I feel like
they tell a version that's very clean, but they're not telling them the raw, uncut.
No, because because curriculums and textbook companies have to like be mindful because some people don't want their children to know all those things.
Well, that's a sad thing. You should want your children to know where they came from and what really happened.
I know.
I'm going to explain that to Tatum.
But that's where parents come in.
No, I get that. I understand it's a business, but my thing is, if you know better, you would do better. You hiding facts or you calling slavery an expansion.
Or immigration.
Did they call it? Yeah. One of the textbooks called it.
Immigrated.
They immigrated. They called slavery an immigration. And that to me, that wasn't a slip of the mind. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to make it more friendlier and make it sound like, no, we were slaves. People owned us. They treated us like cattle. They beat us. And I think, me and my brother speak about that. I think that's why, personally, I don't really want to beat my children, is because it's like slavery. That's what the slave masters did to us. And then it kind of comes down like, parents beat us to protect us from the slave master.
I know. That's one way to look at it.
So I think for me, I'd rather do something different.
Yeah.
So
I'm all for like taking stuff away and like anything that requires a remote or a power button is getting taken out your room when you really mess up. Because like video games, TV, that type of stuff.
They wouldn't have video games in their room. I mean that would be my goal.
I didn't have video games in my room. I had video games. My video game system was in like the common area. So and the computer was in the common area.
Well, I mean, our house is pretty big, so it wouldn't be in the living room. It'd probably be like in the basement, so that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably.
I'm saying to me that would make the most sense. Like, honestly, I think my parents got us video games for our rooms, so that way we weren't in the common areas.
They wanted you to get out their space.
Pretty much, so that's some good stuff, though.
It is.
I know we kind of went off, but once you started talking about passing down, and we started talking about other stuff, it's just different things to kind of think of. I mean, I think about this daily, like, what can I give Tatum? How can I prepare her? It's being a parent is very scary, and it's not scary because of what others are going to do or whatever. It's just like, what are you teaching your child? And what is your child taking from what you're teaching them?
It's also it's a lot of like the majority of it is not even the stuff that you actually verbalize to your kids. It's the stuff that you demonstrate and you model in your day to day, in your actions, and how they look at how you interact with other people,
100%.
And how you treat yourself, and so that's always important too.
You got to be transparent.
I mean, you got to be transparent, and I think you also like and it make like being a mom to Tatum now makes me very much want to be the best version of myself, and so that way she can feel confident in knowing that like I don't stand for this, or I don't take this, or I act like this because this is how my mom acts. Yeah. This is how my dad acts.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to be transparent. They have to be able to see that. Like, you know, I think about Ghost and Tariq.
Oh, from Power.
Like, the reason why Ghost didn't teach Tariq anything. He tried to shield him.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
And by shielding him, once he finds out who his father really is, like, you lied to me.
Yeah.
You know? You didn't... I don't know this person. I know James St. Patrick. I don't know Ghost. This shit is weird. So that's what I'm saying. You can't... Parents like to hide things. You can't hide... Certain things you just can't hide.
I agree.
Like, if you were a bad kid or you got into a lot of fights or you did wild stuff, like, you shouldn't hide those things. You shouldn't glorify it by any means. But
you talk about it.
But you talk about it as a lesson.
Yeah,
I did this so you don't have to do this. Mm-hmm. So that way they understand. So I think that's the biggest thing. But yeah, I mean, being a parent, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, but it's also one of the most scariest decisions I made in my life. Excuse me.
It's definitely, it's always a tightrope walk, but you do it because you love them.
You do. And on that note, I think
our parenting corner is closed.
Our quarrel's done.
Yes. So as always, thank you for listening to another episode of Lovers Quarrel.
Episode 41. I don't know what we're going to name this one, but
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Something about old age or...
I don't know.
The
Thank you for... Go ahead.
I was going to say the OBGYN in the basement. Something.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for listening.
Always.
Thank you for interacting with us on Twitter at Lovers Quarrel 7, on IG Lovers Quarrel Show, and thank you for sending your emails in, loversquarrelshow@gmail.com. We truly appreciate it. We listen, we read, we converse with everybody because we don't, you don't have to do these things, but it's appreciative that you do it. So we thank you. Thank you for listening, for critiquing, and just helping us become a better podcast.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm chalking up the deuces.
True. Well, this is your girl Dani.
And I'm your guy TJ.
And this has been another episode of Lovers Quarrel. And as always, we fuss.
We fight.
But we love. Bye.